Welcome. This is HR The Works President Don Finn, and in 5 minutes or less, I'm going to share with you a very powerful reference when it comes to motivating, engaging, retaining, basically working with employees in a way so that they bring it and you get to keep them on board, all right? And nobody nailed a view of what motivates people better than Abraham Maslow did in 1954 when he wrote a white paper on the hierarchy of needs. So Abraham Maslow has been referred to by Peter Drucker, perhaps the greatest management guru of all time. Peter Senge, one of my favorite thinkers about building learning organizations, and of course any other guru named Peter, all right? So let's start off with the 5 levels of needs. We start off at the bottom, and that of survival need. And when we think in terms of survival need, we're generally thinking about entry-level type employees. Unfortunately, in today's environment, there are some people making $100,000 a year who are desperate in survival need. And whether they're making $8 an hour or $100,000 a year, what's most important to that person is what they get paid today. You know, there's a reason why there's a lot of check cashing places around the country. Nobody understands how to address this need, in my opinion, better than In-N-Out Hamburger in California. Now, if any of you have ever gone to that place of culinary excellence, you'll see that the line starts when they open and it closes when they shut down. It is a cash cow. And one of the things they market through the drive-thru window is that they pay their entry-level employees $2 over minimum wage. So if minimum wage is $8.50, they pay $10.50. And as a result of that, they are able to attract the cream of the crop of people going to the fast food retail type environment. I know this to be true. Both of my sons work for In-N-Out, and those kind of guys you want working for you. So what's most important to anybody at this level is paying them slightly above grade. They have far lower work comp claims, far less turnover. They're able to attract the top 10%. They wouldn't be paying that $2 an extra per hour for as many years as they have if it didn't have a return on investment. I know garment manufacturers in LA doing the same thing, realizing the return on investment of it. So that's the starting point. Now, the next need for people is they want it to last for a while. I've got my survival, I want it to last. So we think in terms of job security. The challenge with that is the noise, the message through the media and other sources about job security is that in this country there is none. We have the least amount of job security of any industrialized nations. We're an at-will employer. But there is job security, and it's the same for my employees as it is for any of your employees, and it's very simple as this: doing a positive job in a positive manner where there's a positive cash flow. So we want to do a good job defining what positive is in terms of the ability to bring it and the desire to bring it. That's one reason, as I discussed in the hiring business, why it's important to do skill testings and things like that. But at the same time, we then want to open up the books, let people know the numbers. All the CEOs that I've spoken to that have open book management are so glad that they did it. So if you're an HR That Works member, look at the webinar that we did on open book management. Now the next need is to belong to something. And that's what you might call your culture, you know, your story. And I always question, how well have people actually branded that? So the example of great branding of a company story or culture is, of course, at Southwest Airlines. And they don't just do it to the outside. They don't just do it to clients and customers. They brand internally as well. The affinity clothing. I had when I was in Florida, a number of the employers there have very low-wage employees because they're doing landscaping work or construction work, stuff like that. And these guys are out playing soccer on the weekend, mostly Hispanic laborers. I had them do shirts for them that they got to wear on the soccer fields. You know how many people are coming to apply for them because they cared enough to brand their company on that soccer field that matters to those guys? So that's an example of how do you brand this. If I walk into your company, would I know about it without having to ask about it? Now, once we've taken care of our immediacy and we belong to something, now it's about me, it's about the ego. And you've got to satisfy that ego. You've got to address those needs. You've got to give these people attaboys. The biggest mistake we make is we ignore our breadwinners. Get them in a business journal, get them awards, get them all that kind of stuff, and really drive that ego. And last but not least, once all of this is satisfied, then we want to ascend to knowing we make a difference. as a trial lawyer, not much more is ego gratifying than that. But I finally realized, stepping back from my situation, I wasn't making the difference I was making. So how do we bring in the fact that we make a difference? The only way to do that is the people that you service, have them come in and tell your workers the difference between good service and poor service, how you affect their day, how good service is paid forward, how bad service affects them as well. And that's how we become self-actualized. It's not just the work that we do, it's the impact that that work causes. So very quickly, that's Maslow's hierarchy of needs. One size of motivation doesn't fit all. And I encourage all of you to watch the other video about the costs surrounding retention so that you then use the proper formula when addressing these different needs. See you on the next little video. Thank you.